Welcome back to another daily devotional. Today we are wrapping up the savage warrior called to be rugged and righteous. So day 5 here. And it looks like all of our passages are from the Old Testament today. So starting with Judges 6. I'm saying they're all Old Testament. I could be wrong. But Judges 6 verse 12. When the angel of the Lord appeared to Gideon, he said, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." "Pardon me, my lord," Gideon replied, "but if the Lord is with us, why has all this happened to us? Where are all his wonders that our ancestors told us about when they said, 'Did not the Lord bring us up out of Egypt?' But the Lord has abandoned us and given us to the hand of Midian." The Lord turned to him and said, Go in the strength you have and save Israel out of Midian's hand. Am I not sending you?" Zephaniah 3, verse 17. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. "The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In his love, he will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing." God is the mightiest warrior. Makes me think back to one of our previous devotionals. Job 22, verse 21. "Submit to God and be at peace with him. In this way, prosperity will come to you." All right, let's hop over to the main devotional for today. And day 5 is valor. And the author continues, "There are plenty of courageous men in the Bible. One of the more notable underdogs I relate most with is Gideon. He was a common, ordinary man in his own mind, self-identifying as the youngest and smallest in the weakest of clans, tribe, or family. He had grown accustomed to being average and seemingly insignificant. How often are we comfortable with flying under the radar? I'm not sure if that's a rhetorical question, but I love being under the radar. I don't really want people to call on me or point out anything that I'm doing. So, how often are we comfortable with flying under the radar, just wanting to be left alone? That's my whole existence. But making these videos is definitely putting me out there and giving everyone some ammunition to talk about something. So, have you ever disqualified yourself based on the history of your family tree or your own personal past? Of course, we all have at some point, and if you're honest, more times than we are proud to admit. Thankfully, God sees more in our potential than we see in ourselves. Thankfully, God shows up on our behalf and in ways beyond our own expectations. Gideon was so convinced that he was unqualified and incapable of not only hearing clearly from the angel of the Lord, but also convinced he was not the man for the job for fighting the Midianites. In fact, as we still do today, he asked for signs of confirmation on several occasions as if to test the Lord, and if to say, "Lord, are you sure you want me? Lord, prove to me that this is real." It is more realistic and conceivable for us to believe the worst in our ability or our purpose. We often gravitate toward the reasons we can't more than the reasons we can. Savage warriors give themselves permission to forge ahead without too much reasoning or negotiation. Mighty men of valor understand that the cost of not fighting for a worthwhile cause far outweighs the sacrifice and courage required to complete the mission. God calls us all mighty men of valor and created us to lean into hard situations. He designed us to be warriors of resilience, leadership, and perseverance beyond the status quo. The days of passivity, apathy, and insecurity are dead. So in order to fulfill our calling and fully activate our true purpose, the collective men of God, the savage warriors, must arise once and for all. No plan B, no parachute, never quit. Well, that kind of definitely goes against what I had said previously about if you don't feel like you're a savage warrior, that's fine. You could have a different calling. Um, I mean, this author is definitely saying that all men of God are the savage warriors. And I think in the aspect of, everything that we do, we should do for the glory of God and not waver. I agree in that aspect. But the portion of the savage warriors, I think they were talking more about being like leaders. Not everyone is meant to be a leader. That's just, it doesn't really make sense, but it does make sense that everyone should be um, able to stand in conviction, right? And hold faith in what they believe in and not waver from it. I don't think that's necessarily doing something and being considered a leader. But that is the end of this 5-day plan. So if you have any that you want to go through or want me to go through and give my own 2 cents on, or my, past history and how it intertwines with whatever the devotional is, let me know. All right. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next one.